so excited. It's because we're about to talk about upcycling, which is a great way to be environmentally friendly, but also create gorgeous pieces. Leigh-Ann, there's so many designers that are involved in this challenge every year, and it shows up at the home show.
That's right. So featured this fall and just in a few weeks at the Toronto Fall Home Show, we've got 10 designers who have each been given, actually they got to pick their own table, so I got to pick my own, and we just had to think outside of the box and do something fun and crazy, but the great thing is that they're going up for auction, and all the proceeds are supporting Habitat for Humanity. So we all went shopping at the Restore for our tables, which was great, and this challenge is happening across Canada as well, in a lot of major cities at all of the fall home shows.
So everyone can get involved. Check out the transformations. Okay, look at this table. Gorgeous table to begin with.
It is.
You know, there's nothing wrong with it. Beautiful
solid
wood
wood.
finish,
So this
solid
from the beginning of the show when I was saying DIY or ditch, this was for sure DIY.
Yes.
And look at the DIY that happened to it. Isn't that amazing?
This is amazing. It's beautiful. It's meticulously done. It's got this high gloss finish, and it's just a piece. It's a standout piece.
So one of the things that I love about this challenge is every person involved was given a secret box with product in it, and they had to use the product.
Oh,
so you had to be really
really?
creative. So in this case, black paint, white paint, gold paint, it kind of dictated something classy and elegant.
Yes.
And the designer for this really went out of their way. Like, I think that this is just so outstandingly beautiful and so on trend, right? With the graphic, very elegant, very elegant.
Very intricate. Like,
And
it's
it's a
just
piece
so
of art.
clean. Yeah,
It is.
beautiful.
Piece
That's
of
going to
art.
go for good money, I'll tell you.
I think so.
Okay, let's take a look at the before we reveal this piece now. So we've got another table that looks like your regular table with the extra leaves there.
Yep.
Now take a look at the transformation. They've gone and done a beautiful design here.
Yes.
You've got some gorgeous paint going on there.
What I love about this is they've actually really kept the integrity of it being a classic piece, but they've added on very obvious modern elements to make it look like a real mixed piece. And I just think it's so, the colors are amazing, the graphic pattern's amazing. I love that they've used a chalk paint finish on it as well, which is going to be really nice and durable, and just a subtle amount of color. But the mix of the old wood and the new paint, I think, is so fresh and so
beautiful,
fun.
and even the legs have a little bit of touch of paint down there.
Just a little touch.
Okay, so I hear this designer is really amazing. Her name's Leigh-Ann. Take a look at the before. The table she had to work with to start with. Average table, nothing wrong with it. But
no, actually, there's a couple disclaimers with this table.
Okay.
It was the ugly duckling. It doesn't look so bad on camera, but it was a laminate top with solid wood base.
Oh, dear.
Really weird and funky.
Okay.
Like, whoever made it must have had just leftover materials.
But look what you did.
So with this, thank you.
So cool.
Thank you.
I love it.
I love getting inspired to tackle and do something a little bit crazy, and this was a little crazy and a little time consuming, but it's actually a very easy DIY project.
Okay.
The big trend right now, adult coloring books.
I know,
right?
they're huge.
You see these everywhere. So I thought, how can I create this kind of concept, but really get the whole family involved? So I used chalk paint because chalk paint adheres to the laminate finish and the wood finish. So I didn't have to worry about treating it differently, using different paints and primers. It worked really well. And then I hand drew, yes, I'm not crazy.
You hand drew this?
I hand drew, I doodled first with pencil and then hand drew with an artist brush the pattern. But then the key is, on top of it, I put dry erase clear paint.
Okay.
So you've got a marker in hand. I know you're like ready to go.
Oh, I can't wait, but I didn't want to ruin it.
No,
but it's
go
dry
for
erase.
it. Go for it. It's dry erase. So the idea is, and I actually picked up Crayola makes these dry erase crayons, and you're using wet erase markers, which means that they don't come off when you touch them, when you touch the table. So they'll only come off with a wet cloth, so you don't have to worry about arms rubbing over top if the kids want to color. I picked those up at Staples very inexpensively. Now, yes, I free-handed this, but if you pick up...
I free-handed it. You're like a crazy genius.
Why, thank you.
How do you do that?
Well, it involved a glass of wine or two and long evenings by myself. This is my life, Tracy. If you're not comfortable with freehanding, pick yourself up one of the adult coloring books, get a tracer, and you can lean the table up against a wall and trace the pattern out as well. It makes it really, really easy. And then the little added touch that I did was used a hole saw, so 3-inch hole saw. This is basically the size you would use to cut pot lights.
Yeah.
And just got 3-inch pots and drop them in the center there so they can hold the markers.
This is so smart.
Interactive table.
Out there in the GTA that is going to go for this table.
Hopefully.
And all the funds are going to go back into Habitat. for humanity in the
Exactly.
restore, which is amazing. Good work.
Thank you.
Well, the Toronto Fall Home Show that Leigh-Ann was talking about runs from October 1st to 4th, and they've sent down a pair of tickets for everyone in our audience.